The year is 2030 and President Dwayne Johnson is impeached. What led to these events? They're going for the count. 1, 2, 3, that's it. 3 votes to impeach. He's safe, Junior. He's safe. I love it. The Rock is still the people's president. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the hell is this? The Chief Justice is still counting. That son of a gun. There are only 3 votes to impeach, and he's still counting. He's put 98 votes in the board already. Just look at that evil grin on Vince McMahon's face. My God. This is a travesty. This is unlike anything we've ever seen before in congressional. Wait. What was that sound? It's Vice President Stone Cold Steve Austin. People wised up and smelled what he was cooking. The 31st Amendment to the Constitution has been made, making the presidency a title belt, and of course big match. John Cena beat Rock at WrestleMania and is now the President of the United States of America. Paper? He refused to take part in Fast and Furious 69. The successful opposition campaign by Congressman Camacho. Edit, thank you, anonymous benefactor. I can't believe you like Reddit Gold too, we should hang out. The Big Show finds video footage that proves he actually won the election. But then his campaign is ruined by the conspiracy theory that he was born in France, as the son of Andre the Giant. So Triple H goes over, with the help of the New World Order, and the Reign of Terror begins again. He body slammed the vice president. 44-year-old tire salesman from New Jersey Dwayne Johnson, who has a slight resemblance to The Rock Johnson, was impeached today. The day after he was elected. Congresswoman Jenny McCarthy stated that the people were misled to believe they were voting for The Rock, when they were actually voting for the Sock, a nickname given to him after he left his fly open at a campaign event in Iowa. Congresswoman Jenny went on to say, "Once we get past this, we can move on to the serious business of government. My bill to require on-screen TV experience to run for office will prevent this from ever happening again." Edit 2, thanks for the gold. I'd appreciate it if you would contribute to my Brondo GoFundMe instead. The plants need us. Edit, thanks for all the kind words y'all. I have a bit more idea about the prequel to The Rock, Sock, that connects us from the Trump presidency to The Rock, and maybe I'll get something that takes us all the way to Camacho. Can the writers of Idiocracy really give us these prequels? I have to go back to work now though. He dropped the people's elbow on the Queen of England's Rudy Poo candy ass. Admitted that wrestling was fake. When he said, "Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?" they did, it was meth, in the Oval Office. He was caught on camera with his VP, Kevin Hart, planning a sequel to Central Intelligence, based off of their time in office. He turned heel on the American people and cut a presidential speech calling them all pieces of monkey crap. Fake news. Dwayne would never be impeached. It doesn't matter what led to these events. Vince McMahon made him drop the presidency to Triple H, of course. Because of a newspaper expose. You know that paper beats rock. He told North Korea to cut it out before he kicks their candy ass. He was eating too much pie. His vice president ran over an opposing candidate, claiming, "I did it for the president." He does the eyebrow thing, causing a brain aneurysm, rendering him mentally unfit. He was offering the female interns a taste of The Rock's strudel, and when the whistleblower on the situation found out, he gave him the rock bottom on live TV. Collusion with The Rock and Sock connection. It comes to light that he was the world's most notorious flex offender. Jabronis became a protected minority class in 2029, And some old wrestling videos of Dwayne Johnson are used to smear his public image. Writing prompts. Political opponents released a video showing President Johnson doing non-government approved cocaine with Russian prostitutes. The prostitutes were later determined to be CIA undercover agents, but that doesn't stop the impeachment proceedings from going forward. We ran out of electrolytes. Let's see who gets this lol. False, this is just propaganda. He's too nice to be impeached. They finally figured out his race and half the country just wasn't having it. The Republicans needed to get their revenge. Johnson wore a tan suit and put his feet up on the desk in the Oval Office. They had never seen such disrespect before. The Rock couldn't handle all the paper. Tapes are finally released that he did in fact have Rikishi run down Stone Cold all those decades ago. #StoneColdGate. We finally smelled what he was cooking. It was collusion. Someone finally found out what The Rock was cooking. He sold France to Denmark. Dwayne never discloses his stake in Brondo but names its former CEO as the administrator to the EPA. All plant food is then required to have a minimum amount of Brondo's proprietary electrolyte mixture. Caught with steroids. Emma Watson tries to publish tasteful nudes in Playboy and he signs a congressional order to shut down all porn operations and publications. Visiting any porn website results in just a picture of him smiling. They just decided to impeach him because they hadn't impeached someone in a while. Probably Fast and Furious 17. Duck, it was awful. I mean, The Rock played a rock and Vin Diesel crashed into that rock and that crash turned into the I'm a bit driver and I crashed into a Rock's 410. Would watch again if I was high AF. He messed up his cooking. He raped children. A sex scandal in which he was caught on footage pooping in an escort's butt. It was a paid cover-up until it wasn't. Unfortunately, somebody could smell what he was cooking. Democratic Congress passes a law that in order to create diversity in the White House the president must be an old white Democrat and nobody that in any way, shape or form denounces socialism, even though it has failed 3 times since the Trump administration ended and caused World War III. Robot Senate passes bill and the following year destroys mankind. No one knew what The Rock was cooking? Unrelated, but my teacher has a shrine to him. Congress, President Johnson, you have exceeded the amount of pardons granted to Dominic Toretto that we feel comfortable with. President Johnson, and how many pardons did I grant him exactly? Congress, we'll have to check with Homeland Say. President Johnson, it doesn't matter how many pardons. Rock bottoms. The U.S. government declares himself the Scorpion King of the United States. The end. He made harmless, joking tweets about Kevin Hart's size which led to toxic SJWs launching cancel culture on him. Electrolytes? The digital snowflakes were offended about the disparaging comments made towards the candy asses 30 years prior. We smelled what he was cooking. Turns out it was meth. Because the world realized that you're supposed to be highly qualified for the job and it shouldn't be based on how many Instagram followers you have. Our glorious dictator Donald Trump has defeated West America in a war and has reunited both the countries once more. West America's young sickly leader who isn't as strong as Donald has resigned and will hereby forever be known as the loser. Donald is the most bigly muscled man in the American kingdom. His hair is totally perfect and not fake. Doe bald is he hero. The Rock is sad. Mick, turn my phone off, I can't figure this out. Hello Cerise, turn off Cerise. Cerise, turn off the Reddit please. Go to Donald Trump Reddit page. Everyone could smell meth wafting from the Oval Office. He rock-bottomed the economy. Congress discovered that meth was what The Rock is cooking. We find out The Rock is actually being mind-controlled by Jason Statham, who's using his presidential powers to buy a massive shark so he can kill it in the hopes people will finally stop making fun of his height. Donald Trump was impeached. Hillary Clinton became president. She was then kicked the fuck out of the White House because she let a load of cows into a weed factory. The stakes were high. Pun intended. There was a zombie apocalypse and there were 7 survivors. Dwayne Johnson was one of them. He was voted to be president as he was the only one who volunteered. They all fought each other and made a new generation. Generation Rock. Later on, Dwayne was accused of being a pedophile at 57 years old. There were 450 people who believed out of the 700 people still alive, and as Dwayne was one of them. There was actually 699 people. 449 people didn't believe that. He was impeached as there were more people who wanted him gone. Ta-da! That was probably terrible because I'm in the UK and don't get stuff over there. Brexit is too much already.